Hello guys, I hope you're doing well today. In this video, we are going to learn about navigation in Flutter in two ways, which I called the basic one and another one called named route. In this video, we are not going to use any third-party packages for navigation like GoRouter or any other else. We are going to use the native power of Flutter, a class called Navigator, and its power for navigation. Before getting started with that, we have to understand how the navigation take places in Flutter and how it's work. Navigation in its Flutter, it look like stack data structure or stack widget which we have. What I mean by that, sorry, the stack is not very clear. Please accept it as stack. The stack data structure is look like a jar we have, and everything we put it inside would be on top of each other at any time. So this is the jar would be our Flutter application, and the first things here which we are seeing that is our home screen. So we are indicating with H, and then for example we want to navigate in for example settings screen. The settings screen which is here is not in the picture, which we are going to navigate would be add in top of the home screen, look like a stack. So the settings screen would be on the top of home screen, and when we want to navigate back to the home screen, we just put this settings screen out of the jar, and then we would have access to the home. Also, there is functionalities look like, for example, removing home first, then adding setting as a main screen belongs here, which we are going to explore one by one further. And that was explanation to understand how the navigation works. So navigation is look like stack in data structures, and any screen would be added in top of another one, and it would be popped from another one. Okay, that was fine. Let's go and mess up our hands with code. This is our Flutter create project run, nothing, not a big deal. I've run it on my emulator and it's up here. And what we're going to do is that to navigate to another second screen, for that, I have created a file called secondscreen.dart. I know the second spelling is not correct. I always use you. I know that's not correct. And here we have second screen. The second screen is a stateless widget with a scaffold center text saying that, hey, I am second screen. So how we could go and navigate there? We could use Navigator class and call it navigator.offContext.push. We use the push to getting another screen. So for getting to another screen, we could use push, simple push. When you use push, it says that give me a route. So how would be a route one? It could be a material page route. So we should give it a material page route instance, and then after that, in the builder of that, we pass context and return the screen which we want to navigate. So let's read it again from scratch and understanding step by step. For getting to another screen, we use a push function, okay? So first we need to call the navigator dot of context, this screen with dot of context, we say the navigator here, this is screen which we are going to, for example, push, pop, or anything. The navigator should work here from this context. Then we call the push on it and give a push, a material page route with the builder inside. We pass the screen which we want to navigate. There's lots of options and things you could set here, which is you could use for professional routing. And if I wanted to explain one by one, it could a very long video, but we're going to just do the simple stuff. And for the another one, we are going to proceed the another type of videos. So let's without any thing, let's get started. So I've added, and let's hot reload and see what happened when we press this floating action button here. After pressing this floating action button, we go to the second screen. We use the push button to go to the second screen. If you remember, I've mentioned that we have a kind of stack, and the first item was a home screen we use as a H1. Now we are at the second screen, which is another screen is on top of that. We called it S. I know it looks like 5, but it is. I don't have any kind of pen. Now this is a S here. So this is our screen which we are seeing. And now if we want to get back to the screen which we have came from, what we have to do? We could use the back button press on Android, or we could simply use a pop button. So we came to the second screen and if we enable app bar here without any kind of thing and giving it an app bar and hot reload it with thankfully Flutter understand that you have navigated to this screen, and it would give you this leading option which you could use for getting back to your behind screen. And if you don't want that be appeared here, if you have an app bar with the custom options, and if you don't want that appears here, you could use things called leading, automatically implements leading, and set it to a false. When you set this to the false, this automatic leading implementation would go away, and you could, for example, use your driver or anything, but be aware of your routes and be careful how you use this for your navigation. So if we want to implement it by own self, for example, by clicking on this text, getting back to the screen which we have came from, what we are going to do? What is that function? So I'm going to, on the text, and I would wrap it on an NQL. I know there is a text button, but I just want an untap on it and don't mess with text button here. Okay, we have the untap, and now we want to get back to the screen which we want. Now here the back button on Android is also work, but on iOS there's no back button. So how we could enable our user to get back? We could use a function called pop. How? We're going to call a navigator dot of context dot pop. With a pop function, we could just pop our screen and get back to a screen which we are come from. Okay, now we make this text tappable, so we tap it and get back to the screen which we come from. And now you may say, okay, now if we imagine this is our stack again with a home screen and another screen is here, okay? Now I want to this home screen get away and get cleared and add the setting screen or the second screen in the main. I want to remove home screen without enabling user to press the back button and getting back to this screen. For example, imagine you have a login and then the login goes to home screen, okay? When you go to home screen, you don't want when user press a back button get back to the login form. So the login was successfully, and there's nonsense to user see the login form again. How we could use it? We could use it using push replacement function. So let me clear everything that I've written on my screen and saying thank you to this tool and getting back. Oh, this is not my project. Okay, in this page, we are going to say remove a home screen and add the second screen as the initial screen here. In this navigator.off, we could just use push replacement. With push replacement, as its name suggests and as I explained, home screen would be removed from where it is and the screen which we specified here would be placed on it. So there is not back to this screen. So if I hot reload and press this button, we go to that screen. But if I press back button, there is no back to that screen because we have replaced it. So if I press on that text, which is use pop, it would give us an error and say, there's no screen to get back, my bro. There is nothing I could back. So because the application closed, the thing is get mad. Okay, now until now we have understand three key functions, which is push, which is pop, and which is push replacement. And I would use it the R for the replacement. And these are our function which we made. Push is used for adding, pop for removing, push replacement used for removing and adding another one. Now, there is another function, it's better to say, which used for multiple push replacement or popping back to another screen. Imagine we have come 3 or 5 pages away from a page at home, and we want to pop up to the home screen. If we use pop, the pop function will only pop one item. If this is our stack, and we have, for example, these screens here, and from here we want to get back to the home screen, if we use a pop one, would just only one by one until the home screen. But we want to get here immediately. How we could do it? It's very simple and very, very simple. So let's create the third screen, and we would understand it here. Okay, in the main screen, I'm going to say push instead of push replacement. And in the second screen, I'm going to copy the stateless widget in here, and I'm going to call it third screen because just for sake of learning, and it's not very sensible for that. I'm saying this is third screen. Okay, in the text press, I'm going to copy this push again, and we want to navigate at the third screen also. And you would understand what I'm doing a little bit away. So let's hot restart and see how we could perform. How nice. Here is raining. Okay, let's wait for restarting our app. Okay. Okay. Okay, our application has restarted, and let's go for our mission. Now let's draw a stack and understand what's going on, okay? Let's imagine this is our application, and now we are at the home screen with button here, and I would use it as an H letter with a home screen. Now I'm going to navigate to another screen, pretty simple. This is our second screen, and the second screen has added here. So I would call it second screen with indicating S. And then with pressing the second screen, this is another push one. And now we are at the third screen. I don't know why it's... Oh, because the second screen is here. I have forgotten that to make a third screen. So sorry about my mistake. That was my math. So if I restart and go for this very fast, after that, we would add another screen here called third screen, which indicating with T. Now our application is on the third screen, okay? So now let me go for the home. Now we are home. Now we are in the second screen, and now we are at the third screen. And now in my application, in my context, there is something I have to do is that to come from this third screen to the home screen directly. If I use pop, I would come into the second screen again, and then I have to pop it again to the home screen. So 2 pops I need for getting back. But how I can I can pop them out until. Okay, guys, for that pop, which we have take a scenario like that, if it is our application, and now we have 3 screens here, home, the second, and the third one, which now we're standing here, and we want to get back directly to the home screen without popping one by one our screens. If there is a case which you want to pop without using, for example, double pop, how we could perform? We could perform it using pop until. Pop until is a function which gets an Boolean condition for validating until it. There is an until which said you have a condition until this condition is met, which is true, do the pop for me. And if it's not true, stop popping and show that screen to me. Now, here, I said pop until, okay, there was 3 screens. Pop until the route is the first route on your stack, and the first route is our stack is a home. And if we use name the route, which we are going to support it in another video, because it would be a very long in this video if we want to talk about named navigation. Pop until would be very, very better with named route navigation. So guys, I hope that it would be a crystal clear for you, and I want to explain you the key functionality of Navigator and how you could navigate between screens and using that power. I hope that add a value to it at your life, and if it was, please consider liking my video, subscribing my channel, and introducing my videos to your new Flutter guys or another one to solve them live problems. And thank you for watching. Goodbye for next video.